a good bit of review. So we're looking at lines. The thing about this chapter that I want to point out right off the bat is that you do have to memorize all the formulas for this chapter. Okay, so if you don't already have these formulas burned into your mind from high school, you need to make sure that you have them down. Okay, so the slope of a line through 2 points can be given by this formula here, where we do change in y over change in x, the rise over the run, y2 minus y1 equals over x2 minus x1. So for example 1, what I like to do is label first. So you have x and y1, x and y2, and then we find the slope. What letter do we use for slope? That's the y-intercept. What's the other one? M, yeah, so M is your slope. We say M equals our y2, which is 5, minus y1, negative 2, and then x2 is negative 1, x1 is 4. So 5 minus negative 2, so the minus is part of the formula. So if we're subtracting a negative, we end up adding. That'll give us a positive 7. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. You can go ahead and move that negative sign to the middle if you'd like, because you have a positive divided by a negative will give you a negative. I don't know why. There we go. Oops. Lost my pen. There it is. Okay, let's take a look at example 2. Again, you have x and y1, x and y2. We'll say m equals y2, which is 4, minus y1, which is 4, then x2, negative 1, minus x1, 4. So here you get 4 minus 4 is 0, negative 1 minus 4, negative 5. 0 divided by negative 5, 0. So the slope is 0. Does anybody remember what type of line that is? It is horizontal line. So a way that you guys can remember that, and if you've seen this before, for your 4 types of slopes, you have positive, negative, undefined, or 0. Okay, you have your slope man, so going slanting positive, put a plus sign, slanting negative, a minus sign, a vertical line, that's not very vertical, vertical line, put a U underneath it, like that, for undefined, and then a horizontal line, just do a little one, and then make a big 0 around it. And if you put an ovalish figure around it, it's kind of like a face. It's kind of like sad face, but that's your slope man. Okay, but it is a helpful visualization if you are a visual learner like me. I always kind of second guess myself. Okay, is it undefined or 0? I know it's one or the other, but which one? So you visualize the nose straight up and down is with the U underneath it, and the mouth straight across with the 0. So this would be a horizontal line, 0 slope. All right, next formula is point slope form. So this is when we have a slope and a point on a line, or 2 points on a line, because you can take the 2 points and you can find the slope. So you have y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. So in example 1, you want to write an equation in point slope form for a line with slope 6 that passes through the point 2, negative 5. So here your m is 6, and our x1 would be 2, and our y1 would be negative 5. So if we plug that into the formula, we're going to have y minus negative 5 equals my m, which is 6, and then I have x minus 2. If I simplify this to y minus negative 5, that would be y plus 5. This is actually the first part, so some of the questions might be 2-part questions. The first part asks for the formula or the equation in point slope form. So this is in actual point slope form. Then it wants you to solve the equation for y. So then you work it out, and then you get it in the y equals mx plus b form. So we would take the 6 and distribute it. 6x minus 12. And then subtract 5 from both sides. So y equals 6x minus 17. Then that would be the answer with the equation set equal to y. Or you might see it like this, which is the same thing. What just happened to all my stuff? There it went. That's weird. 6x minus 17. So either one of those. I don't know why I wrote of instead of or. Okay, so you have the 2, and again, you're just clicking in the box for this part. So looking at example 2, I'm going to have to do orange and green here because Miami plays this weekend. So my slope is 1/3. I've got an x1 and a y1. So I'm going to have y minus y1, so y minus 4 equals 1/3 x minus negative 3. So if I take that double negative, convert it to a plus, I've got point slope form here. So that's the first part. And then we'll solve for y. So if we distribute this 1/3, we're going to have y minus 4 equals 1/3 x, 1/3 times 3, that's just 1. And then take that 4 and add it to both sides. And you're going to get y equals 1/3 x plus 5. And then that is slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b is your slope-intercept form. Graphing in slope-intercept form, you identify the slope and the y-intercept. Start at the y-intercept, make a point. Then from the y-intercept, you're going to get the second point using the slope. So write it as a fraction. If it's a whole number, put it over a 1. And you do rise over run. So you, if it's positive, go up. If it's negative, go down. And then we're going to run to the right when we run. And then we connect the line. So on MATLAB, you just need the 2 points. So once you make your y-intercept, you'll have a line that starts going around. You just click the second point, and the line kind of snaps for you. So let's look at this example. We have, I'm going to use a thick one here. So my y-intercept here is -4. So this is my b. And my m is in front of x, 2/5. So I'm going to start at -4 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. And then I'm going to rise over run. It's a positive, so I'm going to go up. That's probably too much there. 1, 2, and then I'm going to go over 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is my second point. And then I want to have the line through that. So again, it's going to snap for it on MATLAB. Let me see if I can. No. Okay. So it kind of goes like this when you're doing it. And then you just make sure it clicks. You click it right on the second point, and you should be good to go. So in this next example, we want to make that in y equals mx plus b form if it's not already like that. So we would take the 2x and subtract it from both sides. So there you're getting a y equals negative 2x plus 7. So there my y-intercept is a positive 7. That's my b. This is a whole number, so I'm going to put it over a 1, so I have a run. So my rise is negative 2. My run is 1. So I'm going to start at positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on my y-axis. If it will let me. There we go. And then I'm going to go down 2 because of the negative, and then to the right 1. So then my line should look like this. So typically I do not make you graph on a test because it is hard to get the exact points, but I'll have you pick out the correct graph for a couple things. But you will be graphing on the homework problems and the you don't have quizzes, so don't worry about that. All right, your special functions, okay, think about the slope man. These are your special functions. So y equals negative 4, find that on the y-axis. It's right here. There's the point negative 4. It has to go through that point. This is the point 0, negative 4. If I'm drawing the ordered pair for that. So this is the point 1, negative 4. This is the point right here, 6, negative 4. You want the points to make sure it's going through it to have the same y value, because y equals negative 4 means that the y value is the same for every single value on that line. A little bit slightly off, but horizontal. Okay, so y equals is a horizontal line with the slope being 0. Then x equals would be a vertical line. So if I came over to x equals 2, here's x equals 2. That's the point 2, 0. So let's say we have this point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. It's not 6, 0, I'm sorry. It's 2, 6. We have the same x value for every single point on that line. So that would be a vertical line. Ooh. That looks like it's as good as it's, oh gosh. I think I'm just going to draw it. There you go. There's my vertical line. All right, now let's take a look at standard form. Then I'll get you guys to test back. All right, so standard form, we're going to scratch this here. I want it like this. AX plus BY equals C. Okay, so X and Y are on the same side. A, B, and C, the numbers, so your coefficients. Okay, A, B, and C, those are whole numbers. Okay, so we want whole numbers. And the number in front of X cannot be negative. So A is positive. So you rearrange the equation, and then you multiply by what you need to get that. So in this case, what I would do is I'd take that negative 1/2 X, and I'm going to add it to both sides. So I'm going to add it over on the other side. I'm going to get a 1/2 X plus Y equals 7. Then I want whole numbers. So I have to multiply the entire equation by this denominator here of 2. I want this to be a positive. It's already positive, so I don't have to worry about that. If it were negative, I would multiply by a -2 to make that term positive. So then I would distribute. So 2 times 1/2 is just 1x. 2 times y would be a 2y. And 2 times 7, 14. So x plus 2y equals 14. Now I'm in standard form. Then example 2. What I would do here is y equals 4x minus 6. Subtract the 4x from both sides. I have negative 4x plus y equals -6. So they're all already whole numbers, but what I want to do is I want this positive. So I multiply everything here by a -1. So this would give me a positive 4x, and then this would be a -1y, and then -1 times -6 would give us a positive 6. All right, and we'll stop right here, and I will upload a separate video with the practice problems probably on Thursday for you guys.